Most people brush it off as a weird little habit, something harmless, maybe even a bit annoying. But what's really happening in those quiet moments is far more complex than it looks. Because to your cat, that small routine isn't random. It's loaded with meaning. And if you've been shutting the door on them, you might be missing one of the most revealing behaviors they have. Let's break down what your cat is actually trying to tell you. When your cat rushes after you the moment you head toward the bathroom, it might seem like simple curiosity, but from their perspective, the situation looks very different. You've just entered a small, enclosed space and removed your ability to escape quickly. In nature, that's a vulnerable position. Cats are wired to stay alert during moments like that. In feral environments, they often keep watch while others eat, rest, or isolate themselves. So when you close that door, your cat doesn't see privacy, they see risk. That's why they stay close, not because they're bored, but because they're monitoring the situation. Those soft meows, the paw under the door, the waiting, that's not attention-seeking, that's awareness. And for cats that feel strongly bonded to their owners, that instinct becomes even stronger. They don't just notice your absence, they react to it. Have you ever noticed how your cat immediately sniffs the air when they enter the bathroom? Or how they stare at you like they're trying to figure something out? That behavior has a reason. In the wild, when a cat gets access to something valuable, like food, they often separate themselves from others to keep it. Privacy, in that context, usually means possession. Now look at your routine through your cat's eyes. You walk into a room, you close the door, you stay there alone. To your cat, that pattern signals one thing: you're doing something important without them. Their brain doesn't stop to question it, it reacts automatically. That's why some cats become vocal outside the door, why they rush in the second it opens, why they inspect the space like investigators. They're not just curious, they're checking what they might have missed. Sometimes your cat is already waiting near the bathroom before you even get there, almost like they predicted it. But this isn't prediction, it's precision. Cats are experts at recognizing patterns. They build their entire day around repeated sequences. You waking up, walking through the house, pausing in certain places. Each action becomes a signal. Over time, your cat memorizes not just what you do, but when you do it and in what order. Even small details like how fast you move or where you stop become part of that pattern. Your bathroom visit becomes one fixed point in that chain, something they expect before it even happens. So when they're already sitting by the door, they're not reacting in real time, they're anticipating what comes next. And to them, that consistency isn't just privichka, it's something they rely on more than you think. When your cat rubs against your legs, presses their head into you, or circles around you in the bathroom, it feels like affection. And yes, part of it is, but there's something else happening at the same time. Cats rely heavily on scent to define their world. They use it to mark what belongs to them and what doesn't. Every time they rub against you, they're leaving behind invisible chemical signals. Now think about what happens in the bathroom. Water, soap, products, all of it removes scent. To your cat, that means something important just disappeared, so they respond immediately. They rub against your legs, your hands, anywhere they can reach, not randomly, but intentionally. They're restoring their mark. That's why their behavior often feels stronger in that space. It's not just affection, it's reclaiming. Here's something you've probably noticed. Your cat can ignore you for hours, but the moment you sit in the bathroom, they're suddenly fully engaged. That's not coincidence. Cats observe everything, And over time, they learn exactly when your attention is most accessible. In the bathroom, one thing is guaranteed. You're not going anywhere. You're still, you're predictable, you're available. For your cat, that creates the perfect opportunity. No distractions, no movement, no competition. So they take advantage of it. They approach you more directly. They stay longer. They interact more intensely. It's not that they love you more in that moment. It's that they've learned this is when you're fully there. Now, here's the part most people don't realize. From a cat's perspective, the bathroom is not an ideal place. It's small, it's enclosed, it limits movement. In the wild, that kind of space would feel dangerous. Cats prefer environments where they can escape easily, observe from above, and control distance. And yet, they choose to walk into that space with you. That decision matters because it goes against their natural instincts. When a cat enters a confined area willingly, they're accepting vulnerability, and they're doing it for one reason: you're there. For cats that form strong bonds, your presence changes how they perceive risk. What would normally feel unsafe becomes acceptable, not because the environment changed, but because you're part of it. So when your cat stays beside you, sits calmly, or simply refuses to leave, they're not just being curious, they're showing trust, a level of trust that isn't given easily. This behavior isn't random, it's layered. Instinct, routine, awareness, attachment, all of it working together in a moment most people overlook without a second thought. Your cat isn't just following you, they're tracking your patterns, reading your movements, responding to subtle changes you don't even notice yourself. They're choosing to stay close, not out of habit, but out of intention, again and again. And once you start to understand that, everything about this behavior shifts. It stops feeling like a small, slightly annoying habit and starts revealing something much more deliberate. Because in those quiet moments, when there's no noise, no distraction, no movement, your cat is making a decision to stay, to watch, to be near you. Not because they have to, but because in their world, being close to you matters more than anything else happening around them. So the next time you see your cat sitting outside that door, waiting without leaving, paying attention in silence, you'll recognize it for what it really is. It's not about curiosity, it's not about routine, and it was never just about the bathroom. If this made you see your cat a little differently, make sure to hit like, subscribe, and leave a comment below. I'd love to know, does your cat do this too?